Hi. What in the world was that? All right, greetings and salutations, peeps. I appreciate you guys being here for Wellness Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Central and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you guys already know, I like to get right into it. I don't like to do any fluff and all this extra stuff that's just not necessary. Let's help you guys with your health goals, and I'm going to show you tiny shifts that will be so small, it's going to be almost impossible to fail. Okay? All right, let's get into it. So, first, if you are joining me inside of my school, you have access to the tools that you need. So, I want you guys to go to at the top where you see Classroom. So, click on Classroom, and then you'll click on Fed Up, the 13-week breakup plan. And then from there, you'll see where you have access to 2 weeks of the full 13 weeks program, okay, for absolutely free. So once you're inside of my school, you'll have access to 2 weeks of the 13-week breakup with bad food habits, all right? So for tonight, I'm gonna walk you guys through this. We're gonna click on week 1, day 0, the introduction. And here's a video right here that you guys can listen to later. But I want you to scroll down to the bottom and click on your playbook, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do tonight is kind of take it back to school. We're just gonna read this together, but at the same time, we're actually going to do the action steps in this book. Because what I found with most of my clients, with many people trying to change their health, is that they don't know where to get started. It's too overwhelming. It's lots of words, all that kind of stuff just kind of thrown at you. So I'm going to hold your hand tonight, and we are going to go through this step by step. And like I said, get you started on your goals so that way you can just get rolling. Okay. Hi guys. Hi from Instagram and YouTube. I appreciate you. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But if you can click on the link in my bio, you'll get access to my school link, okay? That's where I'm teaching from tonight. So forgive me from where I'm looking. All right. So, like I said, we're going to read this together. All right. All right. So, greetings and salutations, peeps. Congratulations for not giving up, because chances are you have tried it all: meal plans, food tracking apps, maybe even that one detox that your cousin swore by, right? And still you find yourself circling the same mountain of cravings, guilt, and I'll start again Monday promises. Okay, but this time we are doing it differently. So, what is this program about? This playbook ain't a diet, it's a breakup. It is a mindset first, culture conscious, soul level separation from the bad food habits, beliefs, and emotional cycles that have kept you stuck in a toxic relationship with food. Forgive me for 1 second. I'm sorry, I meant to turn another camera on. All right. So, yes, I've called it a bad relationship with food on purpose, not because I want you guys to feel bad, but because language matters, right? Sometimes we need bold, no nonsense words to cut through the fog and name what's not working. So, bad doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means, again, we are potentially normalizing the struggle for so long, we confuse it with strength. But real strength is knowing when to walk away from the things that drain you. So go ahead and say it out loud. I'm breaking up with bad. Okay? Yes, I want you guys to say it with me. I'm breaking up with bad. All right? Because you love yourself enough to choose better. Now, just to make sure we are grounded on the same starting place, how many of us have already noticed that what we eat plays a huge role into how we feel, how we move, and how we show up day to day? How many of you guys realize this? Good. I'm seeing some hands in Instagram, school. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Yes. So, in case you're joining in a little bit late, I am just reading word for word on the playbook. So you'll find that playbook in the introduction, okay? So I am on the second page, and the part is what to expect on this journey. So let me scroll here on the screen as well. Sorry about that. Can I do it? You know what? I don't know. Well, oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's why. Okay. So, what to expect on this journey. So, over the next 13 weeks, you're stepping into a transformation that will shift not just your mindset, but your entire way of living. Okay? You'll be guided through a practical, powerful framework that helps you rewire your brain. And yes, that means literally reclaim your health without shame. Realign your food choices with who you really are, not just who you were programmed to be. So we're not here just cleaning up your plate. We're clearing out the mental junk drawer, okay? So this journey will ask you to look deeper, to reflect, to unlearn, and to remember the version of you that existed before the marketing, before the trauma, and the tradition told you who to be and what to eat. So it's not just about food though. Food is just the symptom, the surface. The real issue, it's the programming behind the plate. So we eat the way that we do because of our upbringing and our culture, the emotional pain that we've been taught to soothe with sugar, the beliefs we carry about what it means to be busy, broken, or strong. So the beliefs that we carry about what it means to be busy, broken, or strong is that does not mean you're lazy, okay? It does not mean you're weak. So I want you guys to let go of that guilt and shame that you put on yourself, okay? You've just been running on an old signal. So this playbook will help you change the channel. So I hope you guys have your journal out, some paper. You can print this off, because when we get to it, we're going to actually make some notes on this, okay? So just stay with me. All right, so why willpower ain't enough. Again, let's release that guilt right now. Willpower and motivation might get you started, but they fade. They fade, right? So that's why we go deeper here, working on mindset, emotions, and identity. So your brain can naturally rewire itself through neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity just means what you kind of the habits that you've created since you were born. Okay, so once your mind shifts, your habits will follow. Now, what makes this playbook different? This was written by us, for us, by someone who gets it. I have cried in the mirror. I've carried the weight, physically and emotionally, not because of a lack of discipline, but because of the unique challenges that we face. So our food habits are shaped by our culture, history, and survival, right? That's why we're doing this differently. Mindset first, food second. So we're not here, of course, to demonize Big Mama's recipes, nothing like that. We're here to remix them, but with intention. So before the food changes, the thinking has to change first, all right? But before we even get to talking about food, again, it's right here. So let's talk about your game plan and what that looks like. So you'll notice throughout this training, I often use metaphors from sports and athletics. That's just because it's part of my DNA. And as a former D1 athlete, I learned early on that talent alone ain't enough. The greats don't just show up on game day and hope for the best. No, we don't do that. We first visualize the win. We train and practice like it matters. And we become who we said that we were through repetition, through mindset, and through consistency. So that same energy, right? It's exactly what we're bringing to your healing and your habit change for this journey. So here's the tools that's going to help you win. This is not about snuggling up. Oh, I apologize, guys. I made some updates last night, and this seems to be a little bit of the old one, but hold on one second. Let me see if I can change that real quick. My bad, my bad. It's just a few little text words that I made to update. Let's see. Forgive me for being a human. Let's see. File. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me update that for you, and I'm going to reopen it again. Let's see if you guys can still see me. Okay. All right, my apologies. Let's get right back to it. The tools that I help you win. All right, so this ain't about consuming information, obviously. Okay, you have to do the work. This is about becoming someone different through action. Transformation happens through active learning, which just means, again, action, repetition, and commitment on your end. I can't do this for you, okay? So inside here, you'll have access to several tools to help you manifest your desires and make real lasting changes. We're not on some Ozempic over here, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but that is temporary stuff that will actually cause so many different side effects, like blindness and so many other different things that they don't even realize yet because it hasn't been tested that long on the market. So we don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, this right here though is going to give you long lasting changes. But again, and I say this with love, you have to do the work. I can't want it more than you guys do. Okay. Now, first thing, don't sleep on journaling. This is like your game tape. All right. Remember, we're thinking like athletes here. All right. So journaling is like your game tape. It helps you for self-reflection and transformation. Personally, I did not like journaling at first. I thought it was a waste of time when I could just be doing the work instead of reflecting. But after 2 years of diligent journaling, I saw major benefits, and it helped me quantum leap to where I am today. Your journal will be your space for you to document your wins, challenges, and your breakthroughs. And oh, if you're not familiar with quantum leaping, you can hit me up a little bit later and I can help you go deeper on that. But it's some amazing things. All right. Now, your squad is inside of the school. If you're joining me for Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, you guys will have to go to the link in my bio to join the school, and you guys will get the tools inside there. But this is the support system that you didn't know you needed. You're not alone. Your squad is your accountability circle, your motivation, and your support system. So engage, share, and learn from each other. Growth happens in community. That's from research. That's not me making that up. Research says that. So even the best of the introverts need a community, unless you want this transformation to take nearly 8 years or so, like it did me. And I don't think anybody wants that, right? All right, so before we start though, know this: practice makes progress, not perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, all right? And we don't talk about that kind of stuff because that's just not an attainable goal and it's just not necessary, okay? But practice makes progress. You've probably heard some of the concepts from this that you'll hear inside this program before, but the difference is in the application. So it's not about what you know, it's about what you do and how consistently you do it. So come in like a student, not a know-it-all. I have a client that knows what to do probably better than I can articulate. However, they struggle because they're not doing the daily practices. Additionally, don't let what you think you already know keep you from learning, because repetition is the key to mastery. Approach this journey with curiosity, humility, and the mindset that will help you continue to grow. You can't skip or fake the work either. We all want shortcuts. Again, that's why it's a pill for every ill out there on the market. But as we know, that does not work, right? I've tried that route before, not with the pills, but other shortcuts, and it led me right back to doing the old school eating right and exercising. Okay, and we'll talk about what eating right means. But I really just thought if I repeated enough positive affirmations, my life would change. Spoiler alert, it did not. Okay? Affirmations don't work in isolation. You've got to pair them with action. It's messy, imperfect, and uncomfortable as well, but it's action and it's helping you progress forward. So, because guess what? No matter how many fixes we try, if the root is still infected, the wound will find a new way to show up. So, whether it's food, surgery, shopping, or chasing compliments, none of those things can help us heal what we won't face. And this ain't about shame, it's about power. When you choose to do the deep work, you reclaim the power to transform from the inside out. I've learned to be a student of everything and everyone. If your struggle taught you something, I want to understand. If your story holds wisdom, I'm here to receive it. Because real transformation ain't a race to the finish line. It's a return to the truth. So shortcuts may offer temporary relief, but without self-awareness and strategy, paired with a system, they rarely offer peace. So this is a gentle reminder. You don't have to fake strength or skip steps. Your old patterns will keep you running the show until you pause to witness, unpack, and transform them. So take your time, breathe through the discomfort, and move forward with grace, not guilt. This ain't about being perfect. Once again, it's about being present, and that's where real change begins. Before we move on, I'm going to check in with my school to make sure everybody's okay. And you can, on my end, the screen is kind of small, but is it okay for you guys? I can't, you might be looking at your own document, which is what I want you to do anyway. I'm just doing it for recording purposes. But is the screen small on your end? Hopefully you guys are okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep rolling, assuming you guys are good. All right, so real tips to help you stay in the game. So here are 6 ways to help you help keep yourself on track. Forget about perfection. Once again, just aim to show up. Keep up with the squad. Again, that's inside the private school. You want to check in with the squad at least 1 time a day. Number 3, and we're going to do this right now, so get ready. Set a specific time for learning. Create a ritual around your practice, whether you get some tea, whether you light some incense or get a playlist, whatever gets you in the right headspace. I personally have 5 timers set up in my phone to give gratitude and a few other personal reminders. I want you to consider doing the same. Don't even consider, just let's do it right now. Figure out a time where it's best for you, preferably before you really start to even brush your teeth, take a shower, make your coffee, whatever that it is. Before you get rolling, you really want to do practices like this, okay? So if you get up at 7 a.m. and that gives you enough time to get out the door to go to work or whatever your schedule is, then consider getting up at 6:30 a.m. to really get you rolling, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to literally think about this time because it's sacred, and that will get you started to creating better habits. And this is a time just to set aside maybe 30 minutes to do meditations that I'll give you guys later on. And then also some breathing exercises. So just set aside 30 minutes. What is your time that you're going to do? And this is not just 5 days a week. This is 7 days a week because weekends count too. All right, I'm going to shut up. You guys set that time. Couple more seconds. All right, phenomenal. All right, you guys that are joining me on the social medias, I hope you're still doing the work as well. All right, number 4, plug into your progress. Plug into your progress. That means checking in with your squad, checking in on your friends, doing the daily work, okay? Number 5, celebrate the small wins. Sometimes we get so focused on the big goal, we don't celebrate the small steps, okay? And a small step example is like, okay, did I choose apple chips over potato chips? That's huge. That's a big win because you interrupted your pattern and you stopped. All right. And number 6, teach what you're learning. If you've got a friend or a cousin who needs this too, share a tip or insight because teaching locks it in deeper for you and you never know who you're helping in the process. I do want to give a little bit of a caution though. I'm going to get you excited about a lot of things that I'm going to teach you inside this program. But don't be surprised if someone is not ready to hear it. Okay? I had to learn the hard way. Once I learned what I learned and going to teach you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, the whole world needs to know this. The whole world ain't ready. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Now, 5 of the biggest roadblocks and how to handle them. Number 1 is time. Number 1 is time. One of the biggest roadblocks, right? However, we make time for what matters. So make time for your health and your well-being. Schedule at least 30 minutes a day for this process. And on the flip side, you may get caught up in the listening and not the working. So do the work as you go. Don't skip around. So I'm going to put you guys on blast a little bit. Not on blast, but I want to give you some awakening time, okay? So that's what I said. This intro is very important. Now, I want to ask you guys, how much time do you think you spend on social media, whether it's whether it's scrolling through or listening to lives, whatever, just social media, watching TV, or maybe even gossiping? How much time do you think you spend on that? I just want you to take a guess and go ahead and put it in the chat. How much time you think you spend? Because I'm going to show you guys something. Just take a guess. I'm not here to just really truly shame and point fingers at you, but I want to show you something that may be surprising. Take a guess. Somebody said 30 minutes. Okay, that's great. Not bad at all. Somebody says 2 hours. Okay. Somebody said all day. Wow. All right. Got a few things coming up. Yep. Okay. So 3 hours. Got a few little variations, 30 minutes here and there. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me pull it up. Nope, not it. So some of you guys are guessing. I want to know if some of you guys like know for a fact how much time you spend, because there are some tools out there that will help you with that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share this screen with my school people. I'm gonna switch out my screen. Okay, so some of you guys said anywhere from 30 minutes to, I think somebody said all day, but also 4 hours or so that you spend on social media. I also want you to throw out there, what app do you think you mostly use? What app do you mostly use? So I want you to answer that. All right, Facebook, YouTube, okay? Facebook, Instagram, okay? TikTok. I didn't think I had any TikTok followers. I rarely get on there. Rarely get on there. Instagram, okay. All right, and then the last question I want you to answer is the time of day you scroll through the most. Do you have any idea what time of day you scroll through the most? Anybody? There's the all day again. Okay. Forgive me for laughing. I'm assuming that you're kind of joking a little bit, but if that's real, then we'll work on that. We can work on that. Afternoon, lunchtime, morning, kind of all day. Okay. Spreading out. All right. Okay. So this next slide, I'm going to show you guys some tools. All right. On this left-hand side here, if you are an iPhone user, this is how you can specifically figure out exactly how much time that you're spending on social media. Now, obviously, I'm grateful that you guys are on social media, so you can join me for this tonight. However, I'm going to show you how you can slow it down a little bit, because these tools actually affect our food choices. But again, we're not going to talk about food tonight. We're just going to show you some little tiny pattern shifts. All right. So if you're an iPhone user, you want to go to the settings. You want to tap the screen time. Tap to see all activity. Then you'll see the daily average. Tap the total time per day. Then you'll scroll down where you see social networking category. Tap it again to see Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. And a pro tip for you is to switch from day to week at the top for the weekly tools. So let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So this here phone is just an example. So this person spends 2 hours and 45 minutes. between Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I think it even shows your text messages on some. Let me see. Yeah. All right. And so right here on the right hand side, which this is me, I'm an Android user. How many of you guys are Android users? All right. So it shows you the steps on how to get there. And it's pretty easy. I did this myself the other day. So you go to your settings, tap the digital well-being and parental controls, which I've got a series coming up called Parental Controls, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, but pretty eye-opening. But you're gonna tap the graph at the top, and you'll see the total screen time, the time per app, and then the daily plus weekly breakdowns. So I'm going to make this larger again so you guys can see the example. My screen didn't actually look like that. My graph didn't look like that. It was a little bit it looked more like the one with the iPhone, but it was different than either one of these. So anyway, I show you this so you can know exactly how much time you spend on social media, just kind of scrolling through. And I know a lot of times we can get trapped by doing it just because we're bored or we're in between meetings or we just need a mental break, whatever that it is. My point in showing you this, though, the bigger point is that if you spend more than 30 minutes scrolling through social media, then you can definitely spend 30 minutes or even an hour on yourself to build your health, which, as we know, is wealth. Okay, so I just want to just kind of, just put that out there just so you can see and understand, hey, because a lot of times my clients or people just say, I don't have time to do this and that. I've got so much going on. But then I show them this app and then they spend 2-3 hours on it. And it's like, you got time. We just haven't been putting it in the right places. Okay. So, all right, so take that time that you just selected earlier, take that time seriously, okay? And if you have to go back after this and rework it and like, you know what, this time is actually a little bit better, then do that. If you selected 6:30 a.m. and after a week that doesn't work for you, go back and rework it. It's fine. You can erase the time, but just make sure you're fitting it in every single day and figuring out a work or a time that does work for you. So let's just say the average person, they work 9 to 5. Guess what? That time is built in to where you're not going to change that. So have the same mindset when it comes to you working on your health. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Number 2, motivation levels. Motivation levels. Motivation is cute, but it's flaky. It'll ghost you the second life gets loud. So that's why you need a deeper why, one that pulls you forward when willpower runs out. And we're going to come back and talk about the why because that's kind of a big deal as well. That's what'll keep you going. And so we're going to come back to your why and why you're doing this and why you're here. But the third one, resistance to change. Expect tough days. It's this thing called life that we live in. So it's going to happen. Growth is uncomfortable. That's how you know it's working though. Research says this is when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. So what's the worst that's going to happen? You actually keep going and you get better? Because that's what's going to happen. That's the direction I'm going to lead you to, okay? Number 4 is a big one. All or nothing thinking. Missing one day does not mean it's over forever, or you just throw your hands up and say, I'll do it next year. 2027 is going to be my year. No, one slip up doesn't mean you failed. Perfection, again, is not the goal. Progress is. So if you take a breath, reset, then we figure out how to keep moving, okay? And then the 5th one, comparison overload. Do not get caught up in who's doing it faster, better, or fancier. Your journey is just that. It is your journey. So focus on your own plate, your own pace, your own peace. Okay? Now, here we go. Check yourself. Here's a self-assessment that I created. So we're gonna take an honest look at where you are. This ain't about judgment. Again, that's never the goal in this program. It's about clarity and awareness, okay? So the reason this is a must is because you need to be clear on what it is that you truly want and desire, which will help you focus. So the following things, we're gonna rate them from a 1 to a 10. 1 means least true, 10 means the most true. So your mindset, I want you to rate this from 1 to 10. Mindset, how strong is your belief in your ability to change? And you guys can tell me, put it in the chat on the social media sites. How strong is your belief in your ability to change? Number 2, devotion. How consistent are you with your new habits? How consistent are you with your new habits? Your relationship with food. Do you eat with awareness and intention? Do you eat with awareness and intention? And then the last one, self-compassion. How kind are you to yourself in moments of struggle? So I asked that last one last on purpose because the first 3 people tend to rate themselves pretty high because either they want to impress me for some reason, or they don't, or they kind of rate themselves very low, 1s and 2s, because they're not very kind to themselves. Now, I'm not here to tell you where you should be. I just want you to make sure that you rate yourself with honesty, but also give yourself compassion as well, okay? Now, next is a combination chart with questions to help you assess various aspects of personal and interpersonal relationships in hopes to help you understand your relationship with food. So before we dive in, take an honest look at where you are. The statements below will help you track how you're growing right now, midway through, and when you finish strong. So the cocoon phase, you guys know about the cocoon? Change happens in layers. So before you take your first rating, I want to offer you this image. And it is an image of a caterpillar. And, sorry guys. I actually turned it off when I was joining here. Let's see, pull it up pretty quickly. Oh, here we go. Okay. Having to switch back and forth screens, I apologize. Let's see. Don't want any music. Okay. So I want you guys to look at this as I talk to you guys about, change happening in layers. So when a caterpillar enters the cocoon, there is no applause, right? No before and after photo, no proof of change. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but inside, everything is shifting. So breaking down, reforming, and becoming. So this is you right now. And congrats, you are still here. So again, celebrate the small wins. So you may not feel like you're changing yet, but the moment, so I'm trying to fast forward a little bit, but the moment that you decided to grow and the moment that you decided to be here tonight, something had already began. The cocoon phase is quiet, messy, and sacred. Come on, technology. It just paused for no reason. Let's see. Maybe it's not ready to grow. Come on. It's like vibrating. What is happening? Oh, Lord, have mercy. That's all right. So you know what, guys? I'm going to do this again tomorrow as part of my Think Thursdays at 3:30 Central, 4:30 p.m. Oh, my goodness. What's happening? All right. I'm one of my schools, so things are kind of going a little bit crazy. Hopefully, my school people can still see what's going on. But anyway, I'm pretty sure for the most part, you guys have seen what happens when a butterfly comes out of a cocoon. The point is this, it takes time. It takes time to develop. And even when, if you've never known this, that there's been people, like real humans, actually trying to help the butterfly outside the cocoon because it's like kind of breaking its shell. If you actually help it out too soon, it's going to die. So I'm not here again to do what you can do. I can't do more than you want to do for yourself. You actually have to do the work. I'm just here to hand you the tools. But again, you guys have to do it for yourselves, okay? But give yourself some time. Be gentle, be open. This is just the beginning. And like you've seen, butterflies don't rush, all right? So this next part, you're going to rate yourself between a 1 to 5. 1 meaning not so aligned, but 5 meaning deeply aligned. So the first one, higher self, you're gonna, the left side column is the category and how your relationship is with your blank. In the middle, you have the statement. And then on the right side, we're gonna do the pre-rating, which is right now. In the middle of the program, we're gonna come back and do this again, which is 6 weeks from now. And then at the end of the program, 13 weeks, we're gonna do a post-rating. But we're gonna stay focused on the first column, which is the pre-rating right now. Now, so how's your relationship with your higher self or your spirituality? Okay? The statement is, I stay connected to something greater than me, whether I call it God, the universe, spirit, higher power, source, etc. I make room for stillness, alignment, and divine downloads that guide how I live. So rate yourself between a 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, or 5. 1 meaning not aligned, 5 meaning deeply aligned. And again, you want to be honest. You want to be honest. All right, how's your relationship with your self-image? I'm learning to see myself beyond filters, flaws, and feedback. I don't compete. I just continue to evolve into the version of me that feels most true. 1 through 5. Next one, how's your relationship with your purpose? I know I wasn't born just to survive. I'm here on assignment. I honor my gifts, even when the world hasn't fully seen them yet, and I move like I matter. How's your relationship with self? I honor who I am by setting boundaries, speaking kindly to myself, and showing up for my own needs consistently. How's my relationship with beliefs? I question what I was taught, not out of rebellion, but out of reverence for my growth. I only hold onto what uplifts and aligns. Next one, how's your relationship with your body or your temple? I move like my body is sacred. I feed it, rest it, and speak to it like it's the home I want to live in, not escape from. Next one, how's your relationship with your intimate partner or your lover? I create space for love that feels safe, honest, and mutual, whether I'm loving myself, attracting new love, or nurturing an existing relationship. I express affection with intention and honor both my individuality and the unique needs of my partner, present or future. Next one, how's your relationship with your parents? I'm learning to hold space for my parents with compassion, whether I knew or know them deeply, not at all, or not for long. I respect my need to heal, even when that means unlearning what I was taught or grieving what I never received. I choose boundaries, forgiveness, and truth that restore peace in my heart. And you know what? Let me make sure I'm still sharing the other screen. I'm not. All right. How's my relationship? What is happening? What is going on? Can you guys see it jumping? Yeah, you can. This is weird. Let me stop sharing for a second and I'll go back. But hopefully you guys have had it downloaded yourself, but I'll keep reading so we can continue on and stay on a good time. How's your relationship with children? I lead with presence, not just protection. I model the love, patience, and emotional safety I want the next generation to carry into their lives. Whether they are mine by birth, by choice, or by influence, I choose to be a safe space for growth. How's your relationship with your friends? I keep friendships where the energy flows both ways. I show up for my people, but I no longer shrink, chase, or overextend to keep a vibe alive. How's my relationship with coworkers? I show up with integrity, even when it isn't reciprocated. Whether I work solo, lead a team, or collaborate with others, I hold boundaries, protect my peace, and honor the energy I bring into shared spaces. How is your relationship with perfect strangers? I give people the benefit of the doubt without letting them cross the line. I lead with grace, but stay rooted in discernment. And the last two, how's your relationship with community? I don't just want to make it, I want to multiply it. I use my healing gifts and voice to leave my community better than I found it. And then the last one, how's your relationship with your finances? I'm breaking lack mindsets and building legacy. I honor my money by being present, purposeful, and prepared for overflow. All right, excuse me, this last one is really big. I'm going to do a live with a financial expert pretty soon when our schedules can align. But I'm going to also share my personal journey with the whole finances thing, because when I was in school finishing this PhD, I was able to eat healthy on a $1,500 a month budget. That was my entire budget for almost 8 years. So when people say eating healthy is expensive, I don't want to hear that. Like, that's just an excuse to me. I lived on $1,500 a month for almost 8 years. And that was just during the academic months, because that was my scholarship stipend that I was given. I didn't work in the summertime. So I made that dollar really, really stretch. So the financial person I'm going to bring on, they have some tips and tools for you guys as well. But I can show you how to stretch a dollar. All right. All right. So hopefully you had a chance to answer all of those. My suggestion is, if you've answered yourself between 7s and 10s on a lot of this, you might want to reconsider doing this again, because you may not have been as completely honest with yourself, which is not a terrible thing because you're kind of being gentle with yourself. But this journey is about being honest. Okay. You can copy this chart into your own journal if you want to, your notes app, whatever you want to do. But you want to make sure that you do the reassessment as accurate as possible. And then again, we're going to do this midway, and then again at the end of the journey. All right, so we're almost done here. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Let me check in with my school again. I want to try to reshare. Hopefully it's not jumping around again. Let me see. All right, anybody in my school have any questions? Everybody good? All right, you guys, it's just jumping school. I'm so sorry. But again, you have access to all the tools and you can download it yourself. But I'm going to turn it off because it may be distracting. All right, so let's continue on. Let's lock in your game plan. So making the change starts with clear intentions. Take a moment to define what you want to get out of this journey. Answer the following questions. Feel free to share this with your squad, which you guys know where that is. That is the homepage. It looks like, it reminds me of Instagram a little bit, where you can just kind of post and say what you want. So step number 1, why are you here? And here, you don't have to start your sentence out with these prompts that I give you, but if you need a little bit of help, you can start it out with, I made the decision to commit to this journey because, fill in the blank, or this is important to me because. And I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to answer that. Why are you guys here tonight? Let me know. What made you join? Okay, so we're creeping up close to an hour, so it'll probably be like maybe 7 more minutes here together, okay? So we're gonna keep on moving, but feel free to go back and rework it after we get off the call. But when you're thinking about your why, this is really, really big, really important. When you're thinking about your why, don't make it just about you. Think bigger. Think about who else gets blessed when you get better. This ain't just self-care, it's community care. So if your transformation only serves you, it's limited. When it spills over to other people, it becomes so powerful, okay? So science even backs this up. When you have a clear sense of purpose, your brain actually becomes more focused and less likely to get thrown off by distractions. Whether that's a late night craving, a WYD text or you up text, or emotional triggers that normally send you spiraling. A strong purpose creates a kind of a mental GPS. It helps you stay locked in even when life tries to pull you off course. If your why is not rooted deep, you'll keep resetting the same goal every year, every Monday, starting over instead of evolving, okay? So you may have to, based on what I just said, you may have to go back and rewrite your why anyway. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we have erasers, or you can just cross it out. Start a new page if you want to, okay? The point is just making sure what we're doing, the work we're doing tonight is laying a solid foundation. We're not just doing stuff just to go through the motions. It does not work that way. This is all intentional. All right, step number 2, who am I becoming? Picture yourself at the end of these 13 weeks. What does that version of you look like? How do you feel? How do you move through life differently? I want you to write that down. Take a few minutes to write it down. This is what I'm holding your hand tonight. Go ahead and write some of that down. Somebody asked me to repeat it. Yes. Picture yourself at the end of the 13 weeks. What does that version of you look like? How do you feel? How do you move through life differently? Write some of those notes down. Now, in case you're just coming in on the lives on social media, I do have the video on the introduction. So the introduction video where the woman is kissing the man that's made out of chocolate, that's pretty much a pre-recorded video of what we're doing now. But I wanted to do live with you because, again, it's just a different kind of energy that happens when we do things live together. Okay? All right, step number 3. What are your power statements? So your thoughts shape your reality. Here are a few power statements to remind yourself daily. I am stronger than my habits. My body deserves nourishment and care. I am in control of my choices and actions. Whatever your mantras are or your power statements, write those down and say them out loud daily. The thing is, your your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not yet. So I have about 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 little, what do you call those little things? The little sticky notes. I have 6 of them with 6 mantras that I say to myself every day, twice a day. And I say each one of them 3 times back to back before I go on to the next. I'll maybe take you guys in my bathroom one day and you can see it. Okay? And once I've been doing it diligently, I've seen the miracles happen and change. You guys, you can call it coincidence, you can call it crazy, whatever you want to. But I'd rather do something that simple to have things manifest than not do it all and take it by chance to them not happening. I'd rather just do those simple little things. Like I said, small little tiny shifts that you do that will make it almost impossible to fail. And this is another one of those things. Okay? So you might have to think through some of your own mantras. If you guys want to know some of my personal ones, just let me know and I'll tell you guys. Maybe I'll make a video and post it on social media. Who knows? All right, step number 4. What are your intentions? Set a clear, specific intention for your transformation. Align your mind, your heart, and your gut to create a vision that feels right at every level, as manifesting your new food habits should feel energizing. Guys, I'm giving you guys some gold. I know it may sound like a lot, but these are things that it took me, like I said, 8 years, and I'm just handing it to you. But you got to do the work, okay? So let's take a moment, close your eyes if it feels safe for you. No forcing, no pretending, just noticing. Now, imagine you a little further down this road. Not perfect, not fixed, so to speak, just more present, just more aware, more at ease in your own body. See yourself making food choices without the back and forth tug of war in your head. You're not fighting cravings. You're just understanding them. You're not obeying rules. You're responding to what your body actually needs. Now notice how it feels to choose without guilt. Notice how it feels to trust yourself again. To move through your day without that constant heaviness, physically or even emotionally. Picture yourself at home cooking more often, not out of pressure, but because it feels good. And when you do eat out, you enjoy it without spiraling, bargaining, or starting over on Monday. Feel the quiet pride that comes from having more energy, more clarity, and a body that feels supported, not punished. And maybe, more importantly, notice the way you speak to yourself now. Is it softer? Is it kinder? Is it more honest? You're no longer at war with your body. You're learning how to live in partnership with it. Now let that version of you feel real, not someday, but today, because it's possible. Now, earlier I told you guys that I am a former D1 athlete, so I had that kind of strong mentality of like, oh, we got to go hard, you got to push, pain, no gain, all that kind of stuff. when you get older, and I'm knocking on 50, it does not work the same. It does not work the same because we have a different kind of a lifestyle, right? So it actually pays to be a little bit more kinder to yourself. And for some of you guys that have a tough mentality still, and you're kind of like, that's kind of like too soft for me, I get it. Whatever works for you. But I'm telling you that when we stress ourselves out from wanting to look and feel a certain way, like all in one day, like it's just going to be magically happen, it does not work well. It just doesn't, because stress belly, stress weight, stress period is a real thing. And it just does not work well when you're trying to reach higher heights with your health. Okay? So the last thing is make it official. Your commitment contract. And yes, I want to see this. I want to see screenshots of this, okay? If you're serious about your journey, commit to it in writing. So let's fill it out now. I blank, fill in your name, commit to the full 13 weeks to break up with my bad food habits. I commit to showing up daily and doing the work. I commit to being honest with myself about my challenges. Doesn't help to lie. I commit to breaking past patterns and stepping into a healthier lifestyle. I commit to engaging with the squad and holding myself accountable at least one time a day. Again, treat this like your favorite social media channel. Okay? And then lastly, I commit to being kind to myself and allowing room for growth. So go ahead and sign it. Go ahead and date it. And let's get to work. Okay? Because you guys may have to go back and do some rewriting on some of your mantras or your power statements or your why, whatever that it is, I'll let you guys go back and then do the checklist, which is right after the sign and date for the contract. And then you guys can get rolling. But we're going to do this work together for the first couple of weeks, okay? I want you guys to tell me if, everybody lives in a different part of the world. Tell me if this is a pretty good time for you guys. I try not to go too early and definitely not too late because sleep is important. And that's something that I still struggle with. I am not perfect, guys. I still have my struggles. So sleeping late because I'm working on this program and just helping you guys get on your road to health. Sometimes I sacrifice my own health needs or my own sleep, but never with the food for sure. That's not happening. I'm not struggling with that anymore. That's what I'm here to teach you guys with those tricks for that. So anyway, let me know in the chats if this was a good time for you guys. For Thursdays, I do 3 o'clock Central, or 4 p.m. Eastern, if that's where you live. This is a good, okay, you like night, you're a night owl. I was a night owl as well, like going to bed 2, 3, 4 in the morning a lot of times, especially while I was in the program. No bueno on the body. I have a video on my Instagram, I think, where I show you my belly, because I'm not about like covering myself up, trying to show you guys perfection. That does nobody any good, okay? I want to show you guys my true journey. And when I tell you that stress belly is real, it is real. So when I was in this program or in the doctorate program, the stress and staying up late, snacking on chips, that was one of my favorites. And then sweets and cereals and stuff. Yeah, not great. So now that I start meditating more and doing alkalizing breaths with those videos, they're in the program as well. Those are the things that actually help me. So it's not about restrict dieting. We don't do any dieting in this program at all. That does not work. If it does, it's temporary. So to me, that doesn't work. If it's temporary, you put yourself to this place of like you're restricting yourself and you're forcing things and you're not happy and all this kind of stuff, and then you gain the weight back. What is that? I teach real strategies where, again, you take small steps And then you look up and you're like, you're just doing these things automatically and you don't even realize it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even want that Snickers. Oh my gosh, I don't even want Little Debbie cakes anymore. Oh my goodness, I don't even desire this, this, and that, because we just take strategic, methodical steps to getting you on that road of whatever your health goals are. Okay? So, anyway, let me know if this is a good time for you. It's going to be tough for everybody, but I try to record everything. I repost some of the videos in the school, but it just kind of depends on what we're talking about. But I'm going to do this again because I want more people to go through this with us. And one last thing I'll leave you guys with is that you want to pick probably just one or two influencers or experts in the health area, because I think a lot of times we confuse ourselves trying to listen to everybody and implement everything. That can set you up as well. So speak or follow those that your energy kind of picks, kind of meshes well with them, and your nervous system is kind of calm and doesn't just go crazy when you're around them or listening to them. So just kind of narrow it down to just one or two. Whether it's me or not, that's fine. But just this is about calming your nervous system and making sure you're on the road to a good space that's going to actually help you and reach your goals, right? So, any questions whatsoever? Yes. So if you join my school, look at the link in my bio, and that'll take you to the school. And that's who I'm mostly talking to. So anybody in the school have any health questions or questions at all? Yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. Let me send you guys the link to my calendar. I am offering for a limited time of 30 minutes free chat with me, just a one-on-one, so we can get you on your goals. So let me put that in the chat so you guys can schedule a time with me. Where is, oh no, wrong one. Nope. Here we go. I'm so sorry. I just now seeing some notes from you guys. Let's see. 30 minutes is a big chunk of time, but I hear you. I know. Let's see. TV 3.5 hours a day. Okay. All right. I see you guys doing some work. That's good. Oh, all right. I'll make that adjustment. Yes. All right. Yes, the image is a Reese cup. It's done on purpose. So it's about our relationship with food or sweets, as you say. So his skin looks like a kind of like a little bit of chocolate, like a little chocolate cake. He's got some cocoa powder in his eyebrows. So yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit creative with this whole relationship with food thing. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. So I just sent you guys the link to my calendar, which is to schedule 30 minutes free consultation one-on-one with me. I can't type it on the socials, but again, you guys have to join the school to get all the goods. Okay. Yeah, if that's no other questions or comments, I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern, and we'll do this again. All right. We'll see you. Thanks for joining.